People, I just can't make this word living and real enough for you. It's here in all of its greatness and all of its essence. It's just tremendous. You see, in their religious rituals of spirits, and they go right through the rituals. They salam at the right time, and all that stuff. Intruding into those things which he hath. Now the next word is what? Not. And the word not must be scratched. Delete. Because in the oldest critical text, it's not in there and it's not in any Aramaic one. Then read it. Then read it. Boy, that puts an entirely new slant on it. Intruding into those things which he hath seen. He hath seen. We have seen levitations. We have seen ectoplasm forms. We have seen Ouija boards, pendants, move, give answers. Intruding into those things which they have what? Seen. Vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind, or in the mind of his flesh, having seen a pendant move to give an answer, having seen a Ouija board operated giving answers, having been to a palmist who told it like it was and hit it right on the nose, having been to a seance where you have seen an ectoplasm form, or having been into a meeting where you have seen levitations of spirit power. You want to talk them out of it, you've got a job. Because they'll say to you, well, I've seen it. You ain't going to change my mind. When I first wrote the book on Are the Dead Alive Now, which, by the way, has been out of print. Devin Adair is supposed to have had it a month ago or a month and a half. Devin, we'll have to dare him to get it over here pretty soon. We haven't got it yet. But one of these days we're going to have it. But people wrote to me from all over the country. And when this new one comes out, we'll get the same trip. Because basically the church Protestantism teaches nothing but spiritualism. And spiritualists teach that when you die, you're not dead. You just crossed the bar. I don't know if that's Tennyson's or if that's down at the corner saloon, but River Styx or something. They say, you go to heaven, and there you're forever with the Lord. Well, if you're already up there, then the spiritualists can reproduce. And that's what the spiritualists teach, that everybody's up there, including Plato, Aristotle, Socrates. Everybody else is up there, only there are different levels. Depends on whether you're studying Urantia or the former Dr. Ryan from Duke University, or hundreds of other spiritualists of the past centuries. The Word teaches that when you die, you're dead until Christ returns, and then everybody's going to get up, whether they like it or whether they don't. See? That's right. Once people have seen this, years ago, there's a very famous clergyman in the United States. It's one of the great churches in our country, in New York City. He and I were fairly good friends. And I was wrapping the Word with him and holding it forth more and more. And he was in a meeting in one of our southern states, preaching in that service, and he and the fellow minister had walked up into the pulpit area. The choir came in, and he saw his father, who had been dead for quite a number of years, walking in that choir. And you try to convince him that the dead are dead until Christ returns, You can't do it because I tried it. And I know this word from Genesis to Revelation on that field. He said, look where will you can show me the whole Bible. I still don't believe it because I saw it with my own eyes. Oh, whoa, back off a minute. Just because you see something with your eyeballs, does that mean it's genuine? Not necessarily. It could be, but on the other hand, it could be what? If you want to know whether it's genuine or counterfeit, you go to the book, the Word. And the Word, we are what the Word says we are. We can know God's will only as we know God's Word, right? And we have to say what the Word says. But because Christians haven't seen anything in manifestation in almost 150 years, they're anxious for anything in manifestation, and the devil's spirits know that, and they're producing them by the barrel full across our country. Why, I can take you to any spiritualist meeting and show you manifestation. But I can take you to a lot of other Christian meetings, and you'll never even hear speaking in tongues. Let alone interpretation or prophecy. You'll never see anybody healed because they don't believe in it. The spiritualists are producing, and that's why people are running by the thousands over there. They got something in evidence. Wow is right. That means word over the world. Now, look why this happens in verse 19. Not holding the what? The head. Who is the head? Christ is the head of the body of the church. Context. Not holding fast. One of the texts has the word fast in it. Not holding fast to whom? The head. Because they got influence with man's wisdom, philosophy, and stuff. They didn't hold fast to the head, from which all the body, by joints and bands, or bond, B-O-N-D, is, it's bonded together. Having nourishment, ministereth and knit what? Together. It's knit together. It increases with the increase of God. Those last three words, increase of God, is God's liberal supply. Increases with God's liberal supply. That's beautiful. Wherefore, if ye be dead, or if ye died, with whom? Christ, from the rudiments, the outward ordinances of the world. Why, as though living in the world, are ye subject to what? Ordinances. Died with Christ from the outward ordinances. Did you ever read Romans 10:4? Look at it. Romans chapter 10. Verse 4. For Christ is the end of what? The law for righteousness to everyone who does what? Then Christ is the end of what? If he's the end of the law, he's what? Then if he's the end of the law, then I'm no longer under it because Christ is what? That's what he's talking about. Outward ordinances. Christ is the end of it. Why, as though living in the world, are you subject? And that word subject is really interesting because the root word is dogmatized. Why do you let them dog you? We have a course in dogmatics in theology where they dog you. Dogmatized is the word. Why are you dogmatized by these people to be under ordinances? If Christ is the end of the law, they'll say to you, touch not, taste not, handle not, don't you wear your hair long. Somebody else say, don't you wear it short. And then you get mad at people who don't have any hair. So You can't win. Just live Christ's way and forget about it. Which all of those things, outward ordinances and so forth, are to perish, are to corrupt. That's what the word perish means, corrupt. With the what? Using. Because all of those things are after the commandments and the doctrines of what?